practices of human trafficking and the exploitation of children for domestic labor and sexual purposes. This ugly trend continues to cast a dark shadow over the futures of countless Nigerian children and, by extension, over the nation's prospect for sustainable development. Human trafficking, described as the illegal trade of humans for the purposes of forced labor, sexual slavery, and other forms of exploitation, has assumed an alarming dimension in Nigeria. The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, UNODC, has consistently listed Nigeria as a source, transit, and destination country for human trafficking. The victims, most of whom are women and children, are trafficked both within and outside the country for various exploitative purposes. Unfortunately, Nigerian children, the supposed leaders of tomorrow, find themselves at the heart of this cruel enterprise. Within Nigeria, children from impoverished rural communities are trafficked to urban centers under the false promises of education, decent employment, or better living conditions. In reality, many of these children end up as domestic workers. These children are made to work in homes from dawn to dusk, often without pay, proper feeding, or access to education and health care. Many suffer physical and emotional abuse from their so-called guardians, leading to lifelong trauma and social dislocation. More harrowing is the sexual exploitation of trafficked children. Young girls, in particular, are deceived or forcibly taken into prostitution rings, brothels, and private homes where they are sexually abused. Some are trafficked abroad to destinations in Europe, the Middle East, and other African countries for sexual exploitation and forced marriages. Factors such as poverty remain a primary driver, with many families unable to afford basic necessities, thus making their children vulnerable to the deceptive promises of traffickers. Additionally, harmful traditional practices, weak law enforcement, and corruption within the system enable traffickers to operate with relative impunity. The consequences of child trafficking and exploitation are profound. Beyond the immediate physical and emotional harm inflicted on the victims, the practice undermines national development by depriving the country of a generation of productive, educated, and empowered citizens. The cycle of poverty and illiteracy is perpetuated, and the social fabric of communities is weakened. It is imperative, therefore, for Nigeria to reaffirm her commitment to protecting the rights and welfare of the children. Government must take deliberate and sustained actions to strengthen the enforcement of anti-trafficking laws and close the loopholes that traffickers exploit. Agencies such as the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, must be adequately funded and empowered to effectively carry out its mandates. Families and communities must be sensitized to recognize the tactics of traffickers and to understand the rights of children. Traditional and religious institutions, which wield significant influence at the grassroots level, should also be actively involved in campaigns against child trafficking and exploitation. Furthermore, comprehensive support and rehabilitation services must be provided for rescued children. This includes medical care, psychological counseling, education, and skills acquisition programs to facilitate their reintegration into the society and help them rebuild their lives. It is time for Nigeria to rise to the challenge and ensure that the cries of trafficked and exploited children are not drowned in the noise of festivities, but heard, acknowledged, and acted upon.
That commentary on ending the exploitation of the Nigerian children was written by Nwike Chinwendu and presented by Jeremiah Jime.
Now, two schools in Ogbia local government area are the latest to benefit from a 9,000-litre water facility provided by the Bayelsa State Education Development Trust Fund, EDTF, and the Sustainable Partnership Initiative for Development, SPID. Students, teachers and community leaders of Community Secondary School, MAL2, and Community Secondary School, Amuludun, expressed delight over the facility. Amuludun 99.1 completes the story.
Two students, Angelo Chuko and Joy Bright, say the provision of the water facility in the schools at TSS MAL2 and CSS Amuludun has saved them the trouble of looking for water to meet their daily needs.
We are here to tell the government thank you for providing us water for us to flush and to drink. Thank you for the water that you provide for us.
Similarly, the principals of both schools, Ido Eluana and Mrs. Florence Binawari Opokuma, noted that the water project would help meet their sanitary needs and assist the students focus on their academics.
Water is very important to mankind, and medically, water is good for the sanitation of the students.
Water is life, and this project will improve greatly the hygiene and sanitation of our children. We are promising that we are going to make very good use of this project.
Paramount ruler of Amuludun, Chief Samuel Olali, and the deputy paramount ruler of Emea, Chief Wallaman Ego, who spoke on behalf of the paramount ruler, Chief Jacob Igigi, expressed gratitude to the EDTF for the facility, pledging to secure the project.
Of all the communities Amuludun has been selected, it gives us great joy to stand to benefit because it will help to curb waterborne diseases like cholera. We are indeed very happy, we are grateful. Water is life. As for the students of the school, I want them to handle this project very dearly. It should not be a playing point.
Team lead of the EDTF to the inauguration ceremony, Mr. Tobias James, said in realization of its importance for schools to function maximally, the interventionist agency and partners decided to construct the facilities across communities in the state.
It is recognized that the schools in the state at all levels need the water to function properly, especially in the case of waterborne diseases. All topics were to see how they can provide this kind of service for all states.
A representative of the Commissioner for Education, Mr. Monde Eke, the Director of Exams and Records in the Ministry, Emmanuel Aku of the partner organization Sustainable Partnership Initiative for Development SPID, appealed to the communities to protect the water project against vandalism. From MAL2 community in Ogbia local government area of Bayelsa State, Alambo, Adatoyin, Radio Nigeria.
It's 25 minutes to 8. You're listening to the news on the network service of Radio Nigeria. In the headlines, President Bola Tinubu is to join regional leaders in Lagos to celebrate ECOWAS 50th anniversary. House of Representatives has summoned Minister of State for FCT to appear before it today. Children demand protection of schools in commemoration of 2025 Children's Day. Still to come, correspondent examines access to fertilizer under President Bola Tinubu's administration, plus sports news, commentary, cyberscope, newspaper headlines, and weather report. Stay with us.
Radio Nigeria, uplifting the people and uniting the nation.
In a world of diverse cultures, religion, and belief, these differences shouldn't be bound but bound. Bound together in love, we can complement each other's strengths. Indeed, Nigeria is a blessed nation, and its diversity a blessing. For more on how to harness this blessing, join Utobenyum on Common Ground Matters every Tuesday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. on the network service of Radio Nigeria as we further discuss how to foster and promote peace and unity. Common Ground Matters fosters and promotes peace and unity every Tuesday at 10 a.m. on Radio Nigeria Network. Join us.
The parade has been dismissed, but sweat and blood have been shed. Browbeaten by the sun, facing dangers on the land, sea, and air. Some died, some lost limbs to enemy foes. How can we take care of those alive and families of those gone? The Pensioner comes up every Wednesday on Radio Nigeria Network at 7 p.m. The Pensioner, powered by the Military Pensions Board.
We health, now we hand the day. All of us get work to do on top am. Time don't reach make we for sabi, can't take care from the beginning. Shey you sabi say HIV, AIDS, syphilis and hepatitis na something we fit to dodge from, treat and even no be death sentence again sef. Knowledge na power. You fit to live correct better life wey go make sense, treat and get help when you need am. Dem fit to manage HIV with treatment, syphilis own na antibiotics, and for hepatitis na vaccine we go take knack am to fit escape from am. Regular testing na key for all of us to fit dey safe. Together we go fit stop the spread of HIV, AIDS, syphilis and hepatitis. Always dey go for testing to sabi your status and stay safe. Prevention, treatment na your hand e dey. Prevention na key. Together we go fit end this pain. Follow your doctor relate, run your test today. HIV, AIDS no be death sentence o. Enter we public health center wey near you pass today. This message na from the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, CON.
Radio Nigeria, uplifting the people and uniting the nation.
Thanks a bunch for staying tuned. Successive administrations in Nigeria had prioritized fertilizer as a key agri-input that must be made affordable for small-scale farmers to increase agricultural productivity and produce enough food for the citizens. President Bola Tinubu's administration has also in the last 2 years implemented policies and programs aimed at facilitating access to affordable fertilizers for farmers across the country. In continuation of Radio Nigeria's commemorative reports on the 2 years anniversary of President Tinubu, correspondent Amici Odo in Abakaliki takes a look at the impacts of the government's policies on fertilizer affordability and areas for adjustments.
Available statistics indicate that Nigeria's annual fertilizer needs are estimated to be between 5 and 7 million metric tons. However, the current level of fertilizer application in Nigeria is about 1.3 million metric tons. To bridge the gap, the federal government in 2023 declared interest to reduce the cost of fertilizer, and in 2024, it approved the release of over 2.1 million bags of fertilizer to be distributed to small-scale farmers at no cost. The Secretary, Commodity Alliance Forum in Ebonyi State, Mr. Patrick Oboloko, said it only benefited those in cooperative societies, a development that has shortchanged all farmers.
Oh, these are the groups that have benefited so much, but for individuals, they only source in the market, and that is one of the challenges we're having.
More so, a farmer in Ebonyi State, Mr. John Weze, said fertilizer affordability had remained a challenge in the area, as many of them who did not benefit from government's fertilizers were struggling to procure the inputs at exorbitant prices for the season.
He sold at 40,000 naira or above 40,000 naira. And you could imagine how a poor rural farmer, where the person can get such an amount of money.
A senior lecturer in the Department of Agri-Economics, Management and Extension, Ebonyi State University, Dr. Cletus Mwapo, described free fertilizer supply to Nigerian farmers as a step in the right direction, but emphasized that it was grossly inadequate.
You see, some farmers normally apply 1 or 2 bags per hectare. That doesn't bring about optimal output. Our suggestion is that the government should subsidize this input.
It has been observed that the present administration at the federal level prefers to channel the distribution of fertilizers to farmers in the grassroots through elected office holders. While this is done on the excuse that they are closer to the people, investigation revealed that the input is often used for political patronage and benefits only party supporters. A retired permanent secretary in the State Ministry of Agriculture, Elder Steve Orogo, described the approach as counterproductive and advised the government to adopt other credible means of distributing fertilizers to genuine farmers.
When you use the people that are in Abuja or people that are not at the grassroots, the implication is that the fertilizers or the inputs will be given to their followers. What of those who are not their followers? Must they remain hungry till their kingdom come?
The Commissioner for Agriculture and Natural Resources in Ebonyi State, Princess Nkechinyere Iyoko, said the state government was complementing the efforts of the federal government in the provision of fertilizers to farmers, emphasizing that it had already manifested in the reduction of prices of food.
It's really impacted so much on our farmers because many people that don't want to go into farming because of the input that we normally give them free of charge, they have already started farming.
Radio Nigeria gathered that the Ebonyi State government is collaborating with International Fund for Agricultural Development and Fadama NG Cares to ensure that more farmers receive fertilizers and other inputs as the nation strives to crash food inflation that has ravaged many homes. In Abakaliki, Amechi Odo, Radio Nigeria.
The Plateau State Government has commenced the civil works for the physical improvement of 3 numbers agro-logistics centers in Shandam, Mangu and Jengri under the Rural Access and Agricultural Marketing Projects RAMP. Speaking at the event held at the Government House, Little Rayfield, Jos, Governor Caleb Mutfwang said they have constructed over 300 kilometers of roads across the country through various interventions. Correspondent Josiah Buzon reports that the program is in collaboration with the World Bank, the agencies Francais Development and the Plateau State Government is
the Rural Access Agricultural Marketing Project RAMP is a rural-based project aimed at adding accessibility to communities, particularly farmers. It is also aimed at improving markets, thereby improving agriculture within the state and beyond. Governor Caleb Mutfwang said his administration has already paid its over 2 billion naira counterpart funding despite its scarce resources.
Local government chairman, traditional rulers take responsibility. Any project that is not being properly implemented, let us know, because we will not spend this money and not get value. I will never agree to any contractor to cut corners.
Governor Mutfwang expressed the desire of his administration to put in place critical infrastructure such as roads and markets that would drive other sectors. The governor said they just signed a memorandum of understanding with the Institute for Tropical Agriculture to develop over 10,000 young agricultural business farmers over the next 5 years in its effort to encourage the youth to return to the farm, which he said is the economy of the future. The national coordinator RAMP, Mr. Aminu Bodinga, represented by Salisu Abubakar, said they are going for a scale-up with additional funds of over $570 million.
Last year we were in Lagos. Plateau State was rated the best performing PIU in the country out of 19 states.
He called on the contractors to approach the job with the highest level of professionalism and integrity that will meet world-class standards and called on the benefiting communities to see the project as theirs. The project coordinator for Plateau State, Mr. Daniel Temsen, applauded the state governor for signing the bill establishing the Rural Access Road Agency and the State Road Fund.
Give us an opportunity of being eligible for the RAM scale-up. It's just another word for additional funds for the project. These additional funds will enable us to construct more roads for the people of Plateau State.
Plateau State Commissioner for Agriculture and Rural Development, Mr. Ishaku Bugama, represented by the Permanent Secretary, Dr. Yinkuldi Elisha, said the markets which are long overdue for revitalization will soon be transformed into modern, efficient and sustainable centers of agro-economic activities. Highlight of the event was the presentation of checks to contractors by Governor Caleb Mutfwang for the commencement of civil contracts of 3 numbers agro-logistics centers in Mangu, Shandam and Jingir. From Jos, Josiah Budzun, Radio Nigeria.
The Ebonyi State Governor, Mr. Francis Owifero, has constructed palace complexes for the 16 traditional rulers in the state through the Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Matters, led by Mr. Uchenna Stephen Igwe. At the official opening of the duplex lounges, which took place at the palace of the chairman of the Ebonyi Traditional Rulers Council, Eze Charles Mpuma of Ezema Kingdom, Governor Owifero explained that the project was to motivate traditional rulers to contribute more to national development, especially at the grassroots.
I am particularly happy seeing this building. There's a promise kept. I've been very confined about this palace because I've been visiting this palace. I call on all of us, the stakeholders who are here, to join me and hold hands with this people to commission this building for the benefit of mankind in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit.
The Ebonyi State Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Matters, Mr. Uchenna Igwe, emphasized that the residential palace duplexes were built by the state government as a sign of high regard for traditional institution due to its peace-building abilities.
The Army Corps 47 that visited Ebonyi State were hosted at this palace, Your Excellency. And when they asked, they were told that you are the one building it for traditional rulers in Ebonyi State. And the story is not here. It has cut across this country because those that came are made up of other people from other countries.
In a remark, Eze Charles Mpuma expressed appreciation to the governor for catering for all segments of Ebonyi State, including workers, youths, women, and the aged.
Next is sports update.
Ahead of today's women's football final, head coach of the Flamingos, Bankole Oluokere, has set his sights on winning the gold medal at the ongoing National Sports Festival in Ogun State. The Flamingos are participating in the festival as part of the praiseworthy invited junior athletes and will take on Team Delta in the women's final. Oluokere said despite beating their opponent earlier in the group stage, his girls will not underrate the Deltans as they aim to claim the gold medal.
We need to take our time. We are not going on pride. We need to do well by you. That's my respect.
Osun State will face Abia State in the third place match. The men's football final also holds today as Team Kwara meet host Ogun State. To reach this level, Kwara beat Kaduna 1-0 while Ogun emerged victorious over the Golden Eaglets in the semi-finals. Both finals will hold at the MKO Abiola Stadium, Abeokuta. In athletics, Patience Ogun George, representing Cross River, destroyed the field in the women's 400 meters, storming to a season's best of 51.60 seconds. She smashed the festival record of 51.76 seconds set by Imobong Nseuko. Happy Rashid of Rivers snatched second place, while Miracle Uwem of Lagos finished third. In his first 400-meter competition of the year, Emmanuel Ojieli broke his personal best, clocking a time of 45.58 seconds to win a closely contested race in the men's category. In the handball semi-final results played yesterday, Ogun beat Kogi 24-19, while Sokoto defeated Edo 32-25 in the women's category. In the men's category, Edo lost 21-24 to Lagos, while Ogun defeated FCT 29-25. Ogun State will play for the gold medal in both the men's and women's handball events. And as at 6 p.m. yesterday, Team Delta still leads on the medals table with 70 gold, 39 silver, and 62 bronze medals. Bayelsa following second with 46 gold, 34 silver, and 32 bronze medals, while Rivers are third with 39 gold, 30 silver, and 38 bronze medals. Host Ogun are fourth with 39 gold, 26 silver, and 35 bronze medals, while Edo cap up the top five with 33 gold, 65 silver, and 60 bronze medals. The chairman of the National Sports Commission, NSC, Malam Shehu Diko, hailed Ogun State for its exceptional hosting of the ongoing National Sports Festival, describing it as a game changer for sports development in Nigeria. He urged other states aspiring to host future editions to emulate and improve upon the high standards set by Ogun. Diko disclosed this during a media chat at the local organizing committee secretariat. He said the entire nation is taking note of the festival's impressive organization and the prompt handling of logistical challenges. Diko emphasized that in line with President Bola Tinubu's directive, the commission is working to reposition sports as a vital economic driver. He disclosed that the NSC is developing a national calendar that will set November and December as a fixed months for hosting the festival and is working on a sustainable strategy to attract private sector sponsorship. Over to football, where Super Eagles head coach Eric Shell has defended his decision to call up 10 domestic league players, including Ahmed Musa, Junior Nduka, Ifeanyi Onyebuchi, Sodiq Ismaila, and Waliu Ojetoye ahead of the Unity Cup Invitational, which begins today. Shell, while addressing the press at the GTEC Stadium in London yesterday, said he believes the players have quality and can add value to the team.
We have a game project. We want to meet a group. We want to create an identity with the game project. So we need to put in this team some players who can learn quickly. Unity Cup is a great moment to try some players, to try some other systems, to be ready in September. And I think they deserve to have a chance. They can bring lots of intensity, lots of aggressivity to play for this jersey.
The Unity Cup tournament involving Nigeria, Jamaica, Ghana, and Trinidad and Tobago will kick off with the first semi-final today as Trinidad and Tobago tackle Jamaica in the first ever Trini Jam on UK soil. Tomorrow, Nigeria will take on Ghana in the second semi-final, which will come with all the intrigues and variables of a 74-year rivalry between the two continental giants. All four teams will return on Saturday for the grand finale, with the losers of the semi-final fixtures featuring in the third place game before the final to determine the Unity Cup 2025 champions. Meanwhile, it is a full house as all the 26 players called up have arrived in camp, with Samuel Chukwueze, Stanley Wabali, Amos Obasoge, Madu Akoye, Tolu Arokudare, and Chris Santos Uche, the latest players to hit London. On the international scene, Xavi Alonso declared the start of a new era during his official unveiling as the new manager of Real Madrid. Alonso was appointed manager of his former club on a 3-year deal on Sunday, replacing Carlo Ancelotti, who will take charge of the Brazil men's national team. And that's sports news this morning. I am Annabelle Okweri.
Next is Cyberscope, bringing you the top trends shaping conversations across Nigeria's social media space. The recent sealing of the National Secretariat of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in Wuse, Abuja, alongside two Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS) offices and other establishments, has dominated discussions on X and other social media platforms. FIRS condemned the action as an embarrassing invasion by officials of the Federal Capital Territory Administration (FCTA) over alleged unpaid ground rent. The controversy has sparked widespread debates online on interagency communication, government accountability, and the enforcement of property regulations.
The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Abbas Tajuddin, has withdrawn the controversial compulsory voting bill after extensive consultations with a broad spectrum of stakeholders. The bill sought to amend the Electoral Act 2022 to mandate voting for all eligible Nigerians. However, it faced stiff criticism, with many questioning how such a law could be enforced and whether it might infringe on citizens' democratic rights.
Meanwhile, Children's Day is trending across platforms as Nigerians highlight key issues affecting young people, from education and abuse to child labor and access to safe spaces. Social media is awash with powerful messages like every child deserves a voice and a future, and let's protect our children, not just celebrate them.
Controversial online personality Martins Vincent Ose, popularly known as Very Dark Man VDM, has stirred up fresh controversy. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control (NAFDAC) criticized him for an inciting video that allegedly encouraged the public to defy regulatory protocols. The agency claimed that he misrepresented their operations at the Onitsha Bridge Head Market and warned that his comments may have violated the Cybercrime Act. NAFDAC also highlighted recent crackdowns in open drug markets across Aba, Idumota and Onitsha, where they seized banned and expired narcotics valued at over 1 trillion naira.
And from the sporting world, Cristiano Ronaldo is making waves after posting a cryptic message on X. This chapter is over. The story still being written. Grateful to all. The post came after Al Nassr's 3-2 loss, which left them in third place in the Saudi Pro League. Despite his strong performance this season, the message has fueled speculation about his future at the club. And that's it for Cyberscope today, as compiled by. Keep the conversation going. Connect with us at Radio Nigeria using the hashtag Cyberscope, compiled by Daniel Adejo.
And now, newspaper headlines. We begin with the Leadership newspaper, and just above the nameplate, Tinubu other leaders to mark ECOWAS 50th anniversary. There are other stories inside the Leadership newspaper on page 4. 2027, no automatic ticket for you, LP tells OB. And there are other stories from the other newspapers before.
Okay, we move on to The Guardian with this banner headline: Opposition's internal crises, legal battles threaten 2027 election. You can take it up on page 6. And of course, over 12 billion people affected by infertility globally. You can take that up on page 3 of The Guardian newspaper. And ground rent, Tinubu intervenes as FCTA grants 14-day grace to defaulters. Check it out on page 6 of The Guardian newspaper.
On Daily Trust, the stories you may wish to take a look at. The biggest story on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper: hours to neck meeting, FCTA seals PDP headquarters. And there are other stories: Speaker Abbas withdraws second bill in 9 months. And there are other stories you may wish to also take a look at. Why Saudi Arabia stopped me from performing Hajj. Gumi, 42 killed in fresh Benue attacks. All of these stories inside the Daily Trust newspaper. And that's newspaper headlines for now. There are other papers we wish to take a look at from your vendors, from the Vanguard and the Guardian, plus so many other
papers. Of course, the Blueprint also.
Weather report is next. In the northern region, sunny skies with patches of clouds are expected, with prospects of morning thunderstorms over parts of Kaduna, Kebbi, Taraba, Zamfara, and Bauchi states. In the north central region, sunny skies with patches of clouds are anticipated, with prospects of morning thunderstorms over parts of the Federal Capital Territory, Niger, Plateau, and Nasarawa states. In the southern region, cloudy atmosphere is anticipated, with chances of thunderstorms over parts of Akwa Ibom, Rivers, Cross River, and Bayelsa states. Ondo, Edo, Ogun, Oyo, Delta, Akwa Ibom, Cross River, Rivers, and Bayelsa states.
And with that, weather report, we end network news for this morning. But before we go, another look at the top stories. President Bola Tinubu will today join regional leaders in Lagos to celebrate ECOWAS 50th anniversary. House of Representatives has summoned Minister of State, FCT, to appear before it today. Children have demanded protection of schools in commemoration of 2025 Children's Day. And we also told you that correspondent examined access to fertilizer under President Bola Tinubu's administration.
And that's the news edited by Ibrahim Shoaibu and the production team I've been working with.
Mariam Okesanjo, thank you for being there.
And I am Yahya Omar. Happy Children's Day.
Happy Children's Day once again, and don't forget to stay tuned to the network service of Radio Nigeria as we now take you to the other studio for Politics Nationwide. Ovi Kuje is standing by.
Àwa la jẹ́ number 1 tá ń jẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ bó ti ṣe ń lọ pẹ̀lú àwọn ètò tó táwọn yọ àtàwọn èrè tó fọgbọ́n yọ àṣìpolówó ọjà tó mú ní ìta lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ àwa la nìyẹn ibikíbi lákòókò yó Rédíò Amúlùdùn láyé ń bá kétékété Moniya láwa ń bàdàn Rédíò Amúlùdùn láyé ń bá kétékété. Amúlùdùn FM 99.1 ní Moniya ń bàdàn ló máa ń múnú àwa dùn.
The National Broadcast Academy organizes workshops on creative writing, public speaking, and broadcast media management.
The workshop is open to advertising agencies, speech writers, corporate executives, and individuals who are interested in improving their writing, speaking, and media management skills.
The workshops hold from Monday to Friday for 2 weeks.
From the 16th to 27th of June 2025.
National Broadcast Academy, located at 1A at Dekule Fajri Way, GRA, Ikeja, Lagos.
For further information, call
0805 307 8029 0803 394 1805.
Visit the website www.natbar.edu.ng.
You can go on to the social media platform at facebook.com/nbacademy.ng. Announcer NBA Management.
ẹ ṣá máa wà ẹ ṣá máa wà ẹ máa wà ìtọ́ ìwà lónú àlébèrè lọ́wọ́ kálukú rẹ̀ dèjì ọ̀wọ́n ẹ ṣá máa wà 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 ẹ máa wà ìtọ́ ìwà lónú àlébèrè lọ́wọ́ kálukú rẹ̀ dèjì ọ̀wọ́n ẹ ṣá máa wà ìwà kẹ́sì tẹ́kí sílẹ̀ bóore òkò lè rájí ọlọ́wọ́ tó bá wọ̀ ẹ́ wá. kí ni ewu àìdè àná ewu kí ni ewu àìdè kọ́ máa ń lọ àná ewu aládé àìdè òkọ́lé oṣù aládé ẹ̀dígbó lẹ́yìn tí bá àdé àìdè òkèèrè ní àdé ọmọ àgbàdé. kó tó fẹ́ wá ní òkú ẹ̀fẹ̀ bá fẹ́ àwọn. Wọ́n ti kó màsí rọ́pò fúnlẹ̀ o ọ̀rẹ́ kó tó fẹ́ màsí ẹ̀pà tá a bá rìn ọjọ́ kọjọ́. Kẹ́pà náà bá àwọn tó ní kíkà ètò ẹ̀pà ìlú bá ti dà. Ọmọ ọdún ẹ̀ ò ní ìwọ̀n ẹ̀ ti kọ́kọ́ ìwọ̀n ìṣòro. Òtítọ́ ti ń ṣe owó. Olówó pọ̀ láì ẹ̀sí o. Olówó kẹlẹ̀bẹ̀ ń tálíkà kó lọ sọ̀rọ̀ o. Bọ́tún bá gbọ́rọ̀ ìyẹ̀dẹ̀ tó bá ní bó ti bá gbọ́rọ̀ ìyẹ̀dẹ̀ tó bá ní. Olówó kò owó sàánú o. Ṣùgbọ́n má pọ̀ ọjà yẹ á. Torí ẹgbẹ̀rún tálíkà àti olówó ìwáyé ẹgbẹ́ ọmọ ìdájú. Dákun má bẹ̀rù ẹ̀ ìbọ̀mọ̀dá ni kó pèsè ẹ̀ máa ń lé sórí. Tó bá yẹ kọ́ ìlú lòdì ẹ̀ lásán, tó bá yẹ bá wà tó bá lò ó. Kó fi mẹ́tì kó fi mọ̀ ẹ́ ló dáa. Tó yẹ padà tí kò fẹ́ kó tàyíká o, kò má fóun létí àti polówó. Polówó ẹ̀yìn ló máa má dáa. Àpàdà tí burúkú ò ní mọ̀ ẹ̀ láàrin o. Lágbájá torí ilẹ̀ kó tó kú, tàbí ló torí ilẹ̀ kó tó kú, làkàtúntì torí ilẹ̀ kó tó kú. Yíyí wà láwọn fi sílẹ̀ dàbá kú o. Ṣùgbọ́n kíní kan ló ń bà mí lẹ́rù o. Àgàgà láàrin àwọn èèyàn dúdú. Appreciation kò sí láyé mọ́. Bíkan nínú family bá ti lò bẹ́bí bá gbọ́rọ̀ ìyẹ̀dẹ̀ tó bá gbọ́. Bọ́lẹ̀ bá gbọ́rọ̀ ìyẹ̀dẹ̀ tó bá gbọ́ tó bá gbọ́ tálá àpò ojú rí. Lọ́jọ́ kan tó bá yọ kí bàbá olówó tó bá dà láàyè lówó dákú máa ro rẹ̀ kiri fáyé. Ìwọ fúnra ẹ̀ lọ́tẹ̀ pamọ́tẹ́. Òun náà ní bùkátà tó gbọ́ lábẹ́lé. Má torí èrò àbúrúkú sí olówó ṣe èrè ẹ̀kọ́ tó lówó àlùbáríkà ló ní ká ló. Kò sẹ́ni kó lè aláyé bí. Ẹsẹ̀ kiri nílé àwọn oúnjẹ bọ̀ àwọn ọ̀bẹ fún àwọn ẹ̀yìn ọ̀mọ̀ra. Torí àìsè sàlàyé kà ó. Àgà bàbá ìrìnnú ló jẹ́ wò. Tó bá gbé èèyàn dúdú. Ó lè lòdì tó wà láàbọ̀ fún báláyé. Ní ó tẹ̀ ẹ̀fọ́ ẹ̀ fọmọ tó bá fi sílẹ̀ tó bá púpọ̀ o. Ìwọ náà súnmọ́ bí kò kọ́ mi kí ló dé tó èdè tẹ́ pamọ́jẹ́ ó kàn ń sọ̀lẹ̀ dàrú lásán. Onítorí ẹ̀dùn rẹ̀ kí ló ọlọ́lá ṣe iṣẹ́ kò tó lọ́lá iṣẹ́ ló kún fẹ́ ní àárẹ̀ o. Ṣé ni wọ́n mú
ètò tó tún dòde. Al-Mahbub ètò àlùbáríkà tẹ́ ẹ lè má gbọ́. ní ìkànnì Amuludun 99.1 FM Moniya Ibadan ti pààrọ̀ ọjọ́ àti àsìkò. ní báyìí ọjọ́ Àlàmísì Thursday lẹ́ẹ̀ máa gbọ́ ètò.
rédíò Amuludun 99.1 FM àgbétàmọ́dànù tuntun la gbére.
Amuludun FM 99.1 àwa la lára àgbà yìí dá.
Ìmọ́tótó borí àrùn bọ́yẹ̀ tí ń borí òru. Ìmọ́tótó borí àrùn bọ́yẹ̀ tí ń borí òru.
kéré o ìgbìmọ̀ aláṣẹ iléeṣẹ́ rédíò nàìjíríà Amuludun FM Moniya Ibadan fi àsìkò yìí kéde fún gbogbo ènìyàn yìí pé láti àsìkò yìí lọ a kò fẹ́ kí ẹnikẹ́ni kí ó máa da ìdọ̀tí tàbí ṣe nǹkan ẹ̀gbin sí àyíká àti agbègbè iléeṣẹ́ wa o. ó ti di ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ fún gbogbo ẹ̀yin alóṣòmọ́ṣẹ́gá ẹ̀yin tẹ̀ mú ìmúkúmu tàbí fa ìfàkúfà àti gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ̀ rìn rẹ̀gbẹ̀rẹ̀gbẹ̀ láyìíká iléeṣẹ́ yìí láì ní iṣẹ́ kan pàtó ẹ wá gbọ́ o. ìgbìmọ̀ aláṣẹ iléeṣẹ́ rédíò Amuludun FM Moniya Ibadan ti dá àwọn agbófinró sí àyíká àti agbègbè iléeṣẹ́ yìí tí wọ́n ń ṣiṣẹ́ tọ̀sán tòru. nítorí náà ẹnikẹ́ni tí ọwọ́ bá tẹ̀ wípé ó ń ṣe nǹkan ẹ̀gbin sí àyíká àti agbègbè iléeṣẹ́ yìí tàbí ṣùgbọ́n kankan ò sí onítọ̀ wọn ò fojú winá òfin ni kọ́lọ́mọ kìlọ̀ fọ́mọ o iléeṣẹ́ rédíò nàìjíríà ọ̀rẹ́ aráàlú ni wá a rọ̀ yín wípé kí ẹ fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú wa fún ìmọ́tótó àyíká iléeṣẹ́ yìí ẹ ṣe púpọ̀ olùkéde ìgbìmọ̀ aláṣẹ àti olùdarí iléeṣẹ́ rédíò nàìjíríà Amuludun FM Moniya Ibadan.
Amuludun bàbá yìí padà ó táwọn yọ.
mo lọ́ọ̀rẹ́ kan
tí wo mi jẹ́ mi kò rí.
bí mo ṣe mú mi
bẹ́ẹ̀ ló mú mi.
bí mo ṣe rí
bẹ́ẹ̀ ló rí.
bí mo ṣe jẹun
bẹ́ẹ̀ ló jẹun.
bí mo ṣe sọ̀rọ̀
bẹ́ẹ̀ ló sọ̀rọ̀. òjijì ayé wa òjijì ayé wa lólùfẹ́ wo bá a ṣe. òjijì ayé wa òjijì ayé wa lólùfẹ́ wo bá a ṣe.
tálẹ̀ rò pé tálẹ̀ ṣe ibi o àwa Sanyẹ̀rì là ń sọ̀rọ̀ ṣé tí yín gbọ́ o ṣé tí yín gbọ́ o ṣé tí ara èyí iléeṣẹ́ Amuludun 99.1 FM tí wọ́n kalẹ̀ sí Moniya bí ibẹ̀ ni ẹ ti lè rí àwọn ètò tó pójú owó tó gbámúṣé àwọn ètò tó jẹ́ pé tẹ́ ẹ bá gbọ́ yóò kọ́ yín ní àṣà àti ṣe àti béèyàn ṣe lè gbélé ayé èèyàn gangan orí ìkànnì yìí lẹ́ ti gbọ́ ẹjọ́ wà ní 99.1 FM Amuludun ẹ jẹ́ kó wà bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ má gbé kó o tẹ́ bá gbé kó máa ẹ mọ̀ rẹ́ rìn.
Dépò gíga ẹ̀kọ́ ló ń gbé ní dépò ọlá ẹ̀dàkúnyé ẹ̀yìn òbí wa ẹ tiraka kẹjọ kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ wa ẹ̀kọ́ ló ń gbé ní dépò gíga ẹ̀kọ́ ló ń gbé ní dépò ọlá ẹ̀dàkúnyé ẹ̀yìn òbí wa ẹ tiraka kẹjọ kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ wa. ẹni tí ó kàwé ẹrú ẹgbẹ́ ni ó máa ṣe ẹni tí ó kàwé ẹrú ẹgbẹ́ ni ó máa ṣe iṣẹ́ burúkú ni wọ́n máa ṣe wọ́n bá jalè wọ́n tún lọ fọ́lé ẹ̀dàkúnyé ẹ̀yìn òbí wa ẹ tiraka kẹjọ kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ wa iṣẹ́ burúkú ni wọ́n máa ṣe wọ́n bá jalè wọ́n tún lọ fọ́lé ẹ̀dàkúnyé ẹ̀yìn òbí wa ẹ tiraka kẹjọ kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ wa. Ṣóyínká Màkàwé ló ń ṣe di ẹni gíga láyé Fáṣọlá náà kàwé ló ṣe di gómìnà wa. Ìwé ló gbé ní dépò gíga ẹ̀kọ́ ló gbé ní dépò ọlá ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ tó ṣe yí ẹ̀yìn òbí wa ẹ tiraka kẹjọ kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ wa. ìwé ló ń gbé ní dépò gíga, ẹ̀kọ́ ló ń gbé ní dépò ọlá. Ìṣètúnṣe yìí ẹ̀yin òbí wa, ẹ tiraka kẹjọ kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ wa. Ẹ̀kọ́ dára púpọ̀, ẹ̀kọ́ ló láyé táwa iṣẹ́. Ẹ̀kọ́ dára púpọ̀, ẹ̀kọ́ ló láyé táwa iṣẹ́. Ẹ̀kọ́ ló ń gbé ní dépò gíga, ẹ̀kọ́ ló ń gbé ní dépò ọlá. Ẹ dákun yé ẹ̀yin òbí wa, ẹ tiraka kẹjọ kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ wa. Ẹ̀kọ́ ló ń gbé ní dépò gíga, ẹ̀kọ́ ló ń gbé ní dépò ọlá. Ẹ dákun yé ẹ̀yin òbí wa, ẹ tiraka kẹjọ kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ wa. Ẹ dákun yé ẹ̀yin òbí wa, ẹ tiraka kẹjọ kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ wa. Ẹ dákun yé ẹ̀yin òbí wa, ẹ tiraka kẹjọ kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ wa. Ẹ dákun yé ẹ̀yin òbí wa, ẹ tiraka kẹjọ kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ wa.
Education is the key, I want a whole bunch. School is fun, learning improves you. We specialize in infrastructures to see through. A couple of the proof, learning in the schools. Parents, guidance, no excuse. Our teachers are bright, our students are bright. The Lagos Second Project, our future is bright.
I'll be a doctor, I wanna be a lawyer. I'll be an engineer.